Hello guys, I'm Bectec and we're about to play episode 4 of the Council. Now, from memory, the last thing that happened is I had a knock on my door, pretty sure it's Mortimer sitting in my lounge room, and I don't know if I'm busted sleep with Emily or not, we'll just find out. It's Mortimer, it has to be.
Lord Mortimer, Monsieur de Richet.
Yes!
Last we meet.
Oh, he seems so friendly. Mortimer. Oh, okay, so that's the credits for it. That is actually episode 1 in the game. But I've obviously divided it by like 4 episodes. Oh no. Okay. Let's go. Number 2. Alright, let's start that again.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Wait, is this real or is this like a site thing?
At last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. However, there may be some new developments, but I don't know if they are linked to your mother. We have found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room.
Oh
I'm
no.
afraid she was brutally murdered, stabbed several times.
That's my fault. That's my fault. Oh, I knew it. I should have. Well, that was my intention. Okay.
Duchess Hillsborough informed us that she accompanied you at the beginning of the evening. You apparently bumped into Miss Adams, who wanted to speak to you.
Yes.
We are told you turned her away, and she went away on her own.
That's correct.
Do you know what she wanted to see you about, by any chance?
No. But no, you shouldn't seem confused. She's like, people are coming to get me.
Not in the least.
Pity. The poor child was probably trying to find
Yeah,
help.
I know.
I
Shut
thought
up.
it could wait until tomorrow.
Apparently not.
Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed. I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory and His Eminence Piaggi, so I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight, I believe. They were tired and went up to bed.
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Poor Elizabeth.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Okay. Gonna man up. Gosh. I can't believe that. Sorry, I'm still getting over it. It's all my fault. She said, Louis, help me, they're back. So I doubt that it's anyone that we've had lunch with. What are you doing here, Eminem? Eminence?
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
So the cannon guy, he's saying.
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging around her room like that?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say, Louis. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
I can't believe it. Okay, I'm over it. Sausage rolls? Oh, you.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Don't fuck with me.
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And
Yeah.
have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, now is the time.
You don't understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit? What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't. All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. 2 days ago, I surprised you having a go at Miss Adams. What happened? Did you want to give her another beating? She wouldn't let you push her around again, huh?
Shut up, you little shit! You have no idea what happened, and here you are, carping away. You think you're investigator of the year. Have you taken a look at yourself, de Richet?
Didn't you get enough beating her black and blue the last time?
I did not!
Damn it.
Go on. Keep going.
Finish what you came to do, then get out of my room.
What's with all these children? Oh my gosh. No.
Nice decor for a Revolutionary Tribunal judge's room.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a big baby though.
A pattern with 4 circles.
Dear Monsieur Peru, I'm writing to thank you for the funds you sent. These funds will be crucial for the renovation of the western wing of the orphanage. The children you sent are doing marvelously well, and little Pierre will soon be walking. Some of them still sometimes suffer nightmares about their parents on the scaffold, but I expect they will cease in due course. Should you decide to send us more, please note that another 20 beds will soon be ready. The children and myself will never thank you enough. Long live the Republic. Long live France. Sister Marie-Hélène.
All right. I've retrieved everything.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's
Helen?
no point you insisting.
I hate you. You should have died instead of Elizabeth. Just saying. You're a little bit of an asshole. Wait, whose room is this? Oh, this is the other French guy? The cannon guy?
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
That could have been George, because he was sneaking around, or it could have been me he saw, because I've been in there. I don't know this guy's vulnerabilities. I'll try.
I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already.
Emily, I'm coming. Well, she's technically my alibi.
Tending
and
children
vice
at the
versa.
orphanage in Harlem. I find it a little hard to understand
she
this
did
payment
leave.
choice.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
She's immune to psychology, isn't she? Yeah. How do I know she's been stabbed 9 times?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times. No doubt she suffered greatly.
9 times? What monster is capable of such a horrible thing? Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
None of your business.
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Oh, either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, or you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
You know, it's not awkward between me and Emily. Should it be awkward? I don't know. What if she's pregnant? Wait, I thought I could go into every room.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Who even is that? That's my room. Yeah, let's just have a quick look. Okay, never mind. Piagi's. Oh, why can't I thought I could go to everyone's room. This is redonkulous. George, what'd you do last night, George? Played cards. Then what?
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
You know, I think that pig's my mum. Because my mum experimented on her and mum's like, ah, I don't want her talking. I'm gonna kill her. And that's what happened. I don't know.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered.
George, your room is boring. Isn't this her room over here? Oi.
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Cleaning up evidence.
I'd have thought this is not really the shortest way to get to your suite.
Yes, I wasn't really looking where I was going. I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
You dodgy bastard. Where's your room? Let's go to Emily's room. And I need to figure out where he is. Any blood? It's normal. Wasn't that how it was before? Oh! Why would they just leave her there? Oh my god, I feel terrible. It's all my fault. Let's start over here.
Clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime. That would clear Emily de facto because she was still with me at the time. The blade is short and thin, well sharpened.
Maybe
apparently.
not.
It's covered in blood. Still fresh. The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand.
Not my mum.
Knocked over bottle of wine. You know that smell. It's laudanum. It must have been mixed with the wine directly in the bottle. Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Big feet, small hands. Don't make no sense.
What a strange smell. Her breath smells of alcohol and of laudanum. People use it to relieve pain. I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax with a lot of blood. At first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death. The wounds are clean and look like they've been inflicted by a sharp object. Some of the lacerations have damaged vital organs, the heart, the right lung, which is perforated. Most of them weren't given with much force. She might even have survived. But the stab in the heart, though not all that deep, sealed her fate. Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body. Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. Let's see. No trace of sexual assault or rape.
How did you check that so quick?
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
Oh my god.
A chest with a half-circle pattern.
Where did I even get that key from?
An untutored hand copied these notes. Looks like a healing method. Well, that's a pity. The writing is barely legible. The note suggests binding the feet and hands, then blocking the jaws using a piece of cloth to prevent the tongue from being sectioned. That looks like a method to control an epileptic fit. I wonder if Elizabeth is the one being treated for that illness.
Well, she's dead now, so...
Feet and hands are bound. A piece of cloth in the mouth prevents the tongue from being sectioned. It looks like preparation for an exorcism. Is Elizabeth really possessed?
That was like 2 different answers. Anyway, she's not here anymore, Louis. Oh! What are you doing?
Vials of laudanum. Large quantities could knock out a bull. Could Elizabeth have been drugged? If the body wounds are anything to go by, then clearly not. She put up a fierce fight. A pentagram. What the hell's been going on here?
We were here before,
Contrary to what
though.
most
Why are
people
you so
believe,
surprised?
a pentagram's not there to conjure up, I don't know what evil or demonic creature. With the point toward the top, the pentagram is an ancient symbol of protection against evil. Many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual? Huh. The talisman that I gave back to Elizabeth. Can't exactly say it brought her good luck.
Keep it as a souvenir, something to remember her by. No? Okay.
A notebook, written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. It's medieval Latin. Well, enough to translate a bit.
Translate it
coming.
then.
The
Thank
demon
you.
is upon me. He's coming back to kill me. There she is. Death has come to finish me off. I've just run into her son.
It's my mum, I knew
That was
it.
her last entry. What tortured writing.
Yeah, it's my mom. My mom killed her.
Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
That's my mom's. Yeah. Okay, so there's big footprints though, like Mum and somebody else did this. I doubt my mum has big feet. She's a small lady.
The blood spatter indicates that the murderer must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
Okay. The big French guy, fat bastard, I reckon, came in and beat her up a bit, and then my mum finished the job with the knife.
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
That was my mum.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
Who's that? I forget. Who dat? Alright, hang on. Okay, I thought that guy's name was Gregory. Don't ask. I'm going to go and search over here first.
The Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever obedient servant. So, Volner had a relationship with Elizabeth. But that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult.
That's what he was doing. He's mourning. He wasn't being a creeper. He loved her. And I got her killed. Alright, confess your love.
What can I do for you, de Richet?
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can I help, monsieur?
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed. But I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly. Excuse me for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she... not really, to tell the truth. No.
I found the Werther dedication, signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, de Richet. Don't push your luck. My relationship with Miss Adams was pure, and has nothing to do with you. Well, continue playing the detective as you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I will...
Yes! I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now.
Oh, I don't know this guy's vulnerabilities. Display immunities and vulnerabilities. Okay, apparently none of them are it.
I get the impression that your romance was over. Am I right?
So? What does it matter to you? I would never have attacked her, if that's what you're insinuating.
Who put an end to the relationship? You or her?
It was her. It was her. But what does that matter? We both agreed.
You loved her, didn't you?
That is none of your damn business.
Your feelings betray you, sir.
So what? Yes. I loved her, like a moth loves the flame of a candle. That's why we could never be together.
Please, tell me a little more about the nature of your relationship.
That is a personal matter, monsieur.
Yes, that is true. So, tell me.
All right. It was passion. That's why we couldn't stay together. It scared her.
I've already done these, so... Oh. Damn it.
We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
My mum did it, for sure. Should I go back and speak to Peru? You know what? I'm going to very briefly. I'm going to see if there's an option to talk about the big footprints. You.
All right. Have you finished?
Let me check your boots.
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations. You've wrapped up the investigation.
Yeah. Is that all you have to say?
All right. Have you finished?
Okay.
Goodbye, sir. We shall meet again.
Probably.
You messed up, mate. You're gonna get in trouble. Hey, Mortimer, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what?
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
I believe I've identified the murderer.
Really, Louis? All right then. Please think carefully before you give me your answer. This is a very, very serious accusation.
Well, I think there's two people. But at this stage, I can't really point my finger at my mum because she's not around. Peru does not have small hands. There's definitely two people, and Peru did not deny that his footprints were there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blame him. Wait, oops, what? Okay, hang on. See if my mum's in here. So it looks like I can only blame one. Ooh, he's looking at me. One person. Either Peru or my mum. And according to Elizabeth's notes that she left, I think she said something like, she's coming for me. I just bumped into her son in the hallway or whatever it was. I'm going to say it's Peru. Screw it.
It would appear that Monsieur Peru is the culprit.
What proof do you have against him?
I found a footprint in the victim's blood. The size corresponds to a very tall man.
That's certainly suspicious.
He hit her before yesterday evening. His Eminence Piaggi can testify to that fact.
Ah, very interesting. Anything else?
No?
I believe there's enough here to prove his guilt.
Very well. I'll share your conclusion with Gregory, and then I shall take care of everything from now on. Given the eminent guests and the important political issues involved, I trust you will leave me to conclude the case in my own way.
What was that?
Right. It's time we spoke about your mother.
Yes!
She seems to be making every effort to steer clear of your guests.
What do you mean?
For the past few weeks, my mother's been playing cat and mouse, if you will. I don't know why, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that she's trying to avoid someone. The question is, who?
And in your opinion, would she be the cat or the mouse?
I say the mouse.
I'd like to answer the cat, but unfortunately I'm increasingly worried that she's, in fact, the mouse.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having the support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed,
That's
if
the
by
bird.
chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If
I'm
only
not
my
knocking
mother
on her.
trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'm sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
I'm gonna say she's wary of someone.
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wollner, and myself.
My lord, I'm obliged
Maybe
to
him.
ask this question, but please don't take offense to it.
Ah, you wondered if Sarah was wary of me. It just so happens that I've been asking myself the very same question. Because I can't explain why Sarah didn't come to see me, knowing how influential I am. But to your point, I can't imagine she would be. Although I am obviously not the best person to answer that question.
Thank you. I had to ask.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
Tell me about her disappearance.
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared.
Oh!
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
Emily is
That
a
was my
twin sister
vision.
who knew my mother? What's she playing at, goddammit? That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that? Excuse me.
Oh, that's so
But
sad.
between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all
Jinx.
I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not seeing things that could potentially happen in the future. I'm seeing things at present. Oh my god, that's so sad for Emily. Her twin sister's dead. What was her name? Emma? Oh my gosh. So my mum's already lost her arm. I can't prevent that. Whoops. Oh my god, plot twist. Let's go. No, maybe not. Because there's not any other staircases that go up, to my knowledge. Oh my gosh, what am I missing? What am I missing? What? Wait, where am I? Oh, this is the tower room. Okay. Search for clues. I will.
There are burnt papers in the chimney.
Don't make
There's
me
a
try
legible
and fix
fragment
it.
Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is on to us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be?
The man
Who
with
could
big
she
boots.
be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there. What is this disc? Oh, that reminds me of the ones my mother collects. It's magnetic.
I had the disc.
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like
Disc.
Like
Use the
see if it works.
disc.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that? I'm guessing it's a metaphor. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
There's one last guest. I did not understand my mother's message. Yep.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
I wonder who the next guest is.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis? About last night, I'm guessing.
Sadly, no. Even if I'd like to have, alas, there are more pressing matters. I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
Must have been Emma I saw in my vision. I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay.
Yeah, I don't want her coming after my mum. Let me deal with it.
If Mother's really killed her sister, I'd better find her by myself. They say they spent a lot of time together. They got along well.
Oh, really? Do you think your mother liked Duchess Hillsborough?
Of course she did. After all, she's your sister. Well, we'll find them, Emily. Trust me. Should I speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
What do you reckon, guys? No, I'm not gonna tell her. Sorry. It would just cause issues.
Better keep that to myself for the time being.
Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
Oh, it's arguing.
You will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
And what has Monsieur Peru done to once again provoke someone's anger?
We don't really know just yet.
I get the feeling it won't be long before it gets out.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds!
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined.
What? Oh, no.
The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before.
How dare they?
Oh, dear.
Oh, as if
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous. Bastard. He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote. Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Calm things down. Yeah.
Gentlemen, Duchess, we're all among people of reputable company here. We should be able to manage the conflicts of our nations in a respectful and orderly manner.
I fully agree with you, sir.
But
That's enough, sir.
with whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
George has got some sass.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you too. Of course.
Mum's got some issues with you, bro. Oh, crap.
I heard about your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned. I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Well, let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Why? Is there something you particularly wanted from her?
No, not specially.
My questions made him feel uneasy, but he's keeping his emotions under control.
Your mother and I used to often speak together. I have rarely met someone so learned. To tell you the truth, I was about to make a deal with her. Did she tell you about our arrangement?
Absolutely, but I was hoping that you could tell me more about it.
Well, she was planning to sell me a very old book. I will make no secret of the fact that I am passionate about the subject. And when Sarah
That's the
spoke
one
to me
that
about
Emily's twin sister
account
hid.
literally had me enthralled.
It's gone.
I can think of nothing else since. You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
Not for you. You know what? No, I'm gonna use my
mother's
skills.
got so many old books. I'm afraid I won't be able to.
Oh, it's easy. You can't mistake this one. It's an ancient grimoire, composed of 7 parts. Each one is closed under lock and key. It was made in such a way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. If you find it, you mustn't tamper with it. You see?
That's unusual. Unfortunately, that doesn't ring a bell. I'll look again, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. You seem very upset. Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's the search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had it in her possession. I thought it was with a certain von Borchardt in Paris. Do you know him?
Oh, yes. I've got to lie about this because we knocked him out. Yeah.
I've never heard of him. I'm sorry. I haven't been much help to you.
Well, too bad.
I hope I've been able to satisfy your curiosity, Mr. von Wollner, and that you succeed in finding what you're looking for.
Oh, and so do I.
And now, what if you told me who you really are working for, instead of keeping up this pretense?
I beg your pardon?
We both know what you're looking for, von Wollner. You're the one who von Burchard was planning to sell it to.
For centuries, all those who have come into contact with the Al-Azif have bitterly regretted it, Monsieur de Richet. You are playing a dangerous game. Please know that I am working for someone who does not appreciate anyone poking around in his business.
Let me guess.
I know Home is doing a little bit of a two-way thing. I think he's playing. Emily said that he was playing both sides somewhere, and it was on the same subject of the book. So I'm gonna click Home. Please be right.
It's Sir Gregory.
Correct.
Yeah.
You ought to know then. He is not a man who likes to be duped. You are walking on thin ice, sir.
goodness. The plot thickens, guys. Right. Well, that is a lot to process. I'm sorry so much happened there. Yeah, I'm going to have to take 5 minutes and just recap because that was just crazy. And I'm so sorry about Elizabeth. Oh, I wonder if there's a way that I could have prevented that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode.